back to my channel. It's your girl Kim, your favorite yada gal. Anyways, this is part 4 of my work history. This is crazy, y'all. Like, I knew I worked a lot of jobs, but I had no idea it was this many. It's crazy. But like I said, I've had a lot of experience, and that should just tell y'all just how many stories I could tell y'all. Because listen, I done been there and done that literally for most things. So yeah, now where were we? We were, oh, before you get into this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? Go ahead and give this video a fat thumbs up. Thanks. Yeah, so now we basically this is a whole new chapter of my life, because I broke up with my ex and I was like, basically I'm doing me. I'm gonna be shit, my camera battery's gonna die, I really need to hurry up. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do me, try to focus and like figure out my life. So I moved to Pittsburgh, and that was fun. I love Pittsburgh. I went back to work in a club. I was making really good money there. Like, I was making good money, more than I was making in Florida. It was a really high-end club. I was like, we had to wear gowns and stuff, like long ass gowns that was like below your knee type shit, like some ball gown type shit. It was nice. And like I said, I was making good money. It was working out for a little bit. I was once again not saving. I feel like, you know, that lifestyle, like that whole club lifestyle is a very fast lifestyle, because you basically make a lot of money and you make it just not so fast, but just like there's random nights where you'd be like leaving with damn near like $1,000 in one night. And like for a young person, most times if you're not like just really goal oriented, and just a lot of people just know how to like just go to work. They don't even drink when they're there. They're just focused. They make their money, eye on the prize, and then they go home, take a shower, count their money, put it in their bank. They probably got another business on the side or something that they're basically doing this in order to support that business. I feel like if I was using that money then to like push myself on YouTube and like buy all the equipment I needed and just to be more serious, I could have been so much further by now. But basically I wasn't in that frame of mind, and I just was basically like work hard, play harder. I was spending that money a lot. I was going out to eat at restaurants like 3 times in a single day. Yes, so I'm in Pittsburgh now, and basically the whole time in Pittsburgh I was just clubbing. I worked at like 3 different clubs while I was there. And then it just was, I'm not gonna lie, this was the lowest point in my life, but this Pittsburgh phase was so necessary, because it basically like catapulted me into the next like a whole nother era of my life. It was just a really truly life-changing, because just so much happened. And you know what, you just feel like life is just beating you down. And you know what they say, when you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go from there but up. So that's basically what happened. I hit rock bottom, y'all. I made a lot of poor life decisions while I was there. Like I said, I was young and dumb, and you know, living the fast life. And also there was a lot of things that was kind of out of my control too, that life just was piling on, just one bad news after the other. And it got to a point where basically I had to send Chrissy away again, and that really was like my turning point, because my kids always motivate me to do better, you know what I mean? And when I realized that my lifestyle was basically getting me to the point where I can't take care of her, I was just like, yeah, something's gotta give. And I was not like, I don't want y'all to think like I was on drugs or nothing crazy and I couldn't take care of her, but basically I didn't live anywhere, because remember, I left where I was living at in Florida for the last like 3 years. And now I'm in Pittsburgh trying to figure it out, and things are just not going the way I planned. And I had Chrissy basically tagging along with me, and it just wasn't fair to her to just be kind of unstable and just having her along with me. So that was basically what the deal was. So the next thing that happened was I ended up tucking my tail between my leg, child, and I was like, all right, I'm finna move back to Florida. And I was on my way to Tampa when I basically met Deontay. Yes, I met my lovely husband on the bus. Like, we met on the Greyhound. That's a whole nother story time. I'll tell you guys about it. We could both talk about it because he has a different recollection than I have. But anyways, yeah, so we met on the bus, and now I went to Florida. I was still doing the clubbing thing because I basically didn't have another option at that point. So I was doing that because it's like once you get a taste of making a certain amount of money and like working for yourself and stuff, it just was taking me a really long time to, in my head, I just felt like I wasn't about to quit until I can like basically afford to not work for nobody or have a business or something. But the problem with that was that I wasn't saving the money that I was making, so there was really no exit strategy. So it wasn't working out, and it just was toxic. So still doing that in Florida, and then I ended up deciding, you know what, let me try somewhere different. And I was like, I'm gonna move to New York because I just felt like everybody in New York makes money. It's a big city, the lavish lifestyle. I just felt like that was definitely the place to be at. I felt like I was finna go and be an it girl, be making like bands. You see them rap videos where them girls be having like stacks this thick with money, be like, eh. So I basically wanted to be one of them, and I moved to New York. That was a hot mess. That was a hot mess, guys. While I was there, I worked at about like 3 different clubs, and they was crazy. If you ever worked in a club in New York, you know, like even if you was a shot girl or waitress or whatever, it's just a whole different environment, I feel like, than anywhere else. It was like a rap video in real life. It was like, I felt like I was in a trap house. It was just crazy. And as much as I was in the club industry for a minute, I was kind of used to a more toned down environment, you know, a little bit more classy, and I just felt like it just was crazy, and it was way too fast paced even for me. And I had to just be like, okay, yeah, no, this is not it. I just couldn't do it. I wasn't making no money because I wasn't comfortable. And so basically at that point, Deontay was like, okay, I could see you doing this if you're making stacks, but you're not even. So, I mean, what is the point? Which I understood what he was saying. So I basically had to give it up. So I gave it up. I tried to do the whole regular job thing again. I got a job at a, basically it was sort of like a Jamaican restaurant, but it wasn't just completely Jamaican. It was like a Caribbean restaurant. Y'all, they was really trying to pay me some bullshit. They was paying me like $9 an hour. And it was an under the table job. But mind you, minimum wage in New York is $13. So he knew damn well he was underpaying me. And this man was like on some BS. Like it was the middle of winter, and he would literally like cut the heat off in the bathroom because he didn't want nobody to go in there and sit down on their phone too long, like some weird shit. So yeah, needless to say, I didn't work there for long. I was just like, yeah, no. And I was staying with my friend when I was in New York, and then I stayed with my cousin for a little bit. And then I ended up getting my own place. I have a story time on here actually. It was like called The Landlord from Hell or some shit like that. That whole situation was a hot mess. If you didn't see that story time, you definitely need to go see it. But basically that whole situation with the landlord happened, and then we just was like, okay, New York sounded like a good idea, but I'm just not there yet. I feel like you definitely gotta have some foundation or some money or something before you move to New York. You can't just move to New York broke and just not really having a good support system and be like, oh yeah, I'm finna make it. This is no. So ended up moving to South Carolina with Deontay, and then what happened? I wasn't working for a while. That was the only period in time since I've been here, my whole, like, the whole time I was in the US, that I wasn't working. I wasn't working for almost a year. And then I got pregnant again with Dana, and I was like, you know me, get pregnant, and I'm like, oh no baby, what are you doing? You gotta make some money. So then I ended up getting a job with one of Deontay's family members. She owned a little her and her husband owned a little family style Italian restaurant, and it was really high end, but it was a really small town. And I mean, I was making decent, and especially for the town we lived in, we were doing okay because Deontay was getting a good check too. But it just was not my speed. It wasn't my speed at all. And I'm not a small town city girl. You know, I love being places where there's a lot going on. I like knowing that if I do want to go out, there's somewhere to go. And I like convenience. If I want to drive somewhere, I don't want to have to drive an hour to get to anywhere. So yeah, I just hated it. So then we ended up moving again to where we are now, which is in Indiana, which kind of sounds crazy because if you've never been to Indiana, you're probably thinking what I thought, which is, I mean, how you gonna say you don't like a small town living but you moved to Indiana? Like, I was literally thinking just cornfields and stuff like that when my mom said she lived here. But I actually was wrong. I live in a pretty big city, and it's like really built up. I live in the Fort Wayne area. Hey, if you live in Fort Wayne, make sure you follow my Instagram and stuff, be my friend. But yeah, so I live in Fort Wayne, and I moved here because my mom lived here. And you know, being pregnant and all that, I just wanted to be closer to my mom. So we moved here and stuff. She let us stay with her. That was really nice. So we stayed with her for a little bit to get our funds up. We ended up buying our first car. So things were really looking up at this point. We ended up buying a car because we definitely wanted a car before we moved out because we were sharing my mom's vehicle. So yeah, bought the car. Then we we were sharing that vehicle for a while. Then I got a job within like a couple days of being here. I got a job at Applebee's, and that was my first like kind of like corporate restaurant that I ever worked for. And I was like, hey, I felt like I was the shit. Not gonna lie, I was making money because it was so busy. But we have a slow period here, and the Applebee's that I was working at was just super ghetto. It just was a hot mess. I didn't like the clientele, so I ended up basically I just wanted to work in a really high-end restaurant. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, I want to work somewhere else. I'm not gonna mention where I work now just for the sake of, I don't want anything I say on this channel to like have any implications on me and work. But just know that I work in a higher end restaurant now, and that is my current job. I've kept this job basically since I moved here. I think this is the longest I've ever worked at one job, which is 2 years officially. I've been there for 2 years. Yeah, it's been going great. Obviously, if I'm still there 2 years later, I've been making money. I've picked up 2 other jobs since then because I wanted to work 2 jobs. So I started working in another club. Surprise, surprise. But this time I was a waitress. I basically just did that because Deontay joined the military, and his time frame and me having to work around him wasn't working with my restaurant hours. And basically I couldn't cut back on work and not have another source of income. So people was like, if you get like basically like a 3rd shift job, like in a bar or a club or something like that. I was really trying to shoot for a bartending job, but a lot of the places just was not hiring for bartenders. But I was just thinking, yeah, I could make some decent money, you know. So got the job waitressing. That was cool. I was making good money. But then COVID hit. Well, no, COVID been had hit. But basically, it is really slowed down. I don't know what it was, but it really, really, really had slowed down. And there was just this manager there that just was always trying to talk to me crazy. And I was like, girl, we not finna do that. We not finna do that. So I left for my peace of mind, and then I went and got a job at IHOP, and child, I only worked there for 4 days. That was the shortest job I ever had. I went and I was like, yeah, no, this not gonna work. It just was crazy. And that's it. Now we are where I am today. Like I said, I'm not like by any means where I want to be, but I've come a long way. We managed to buy our second vehicle. Oh, I switched my vehicle because I crashed my first car, so I switched over to a different vehicle than the one that we were sharing at first. And then Deontay has his own vehicle now. We live in a nice apartment where we got money saved up in the bank. Kids are taken care of. Like, I feel like I'm doing okay, you know what I mean? I feel good, especially when I reflect on like my struggle periods and just be like, damn, like I low-key prayed to be where I'm at today like several times. Just was like, God, I just need a little bit of stability. I just need this and that. And now here I am, and now I'm excited for the next chapter in life. I'm really looking forward to career-wise. This is what I have in mind. I'm looking forward to kind of like working for myself full-time. Right now I'm doing makeup, but I don't have a big enough clientele. It's not like a steady enough business for me to completely quit my job. But that would be so ideal for me, just to be doing that for myself, and you know, be traveling and doing makeup and stuff like that. But a lot of the traveling and stuff will only be able to happen when the kids get a little bit older. So I mean, for now, I'm just gonna work with, you know, what I could do locally and just build up my clientele and my name and my artistry and stuff. Hopefully I can offer classes and stuff like that soon. I just have a lot of things in mind that I want to do career-wise. I don't just want to stick to makeup. I also want my channels to be popping. I don't know. I really foresee myself in the future, probably by 35, just having a really nice car. By 35, Chrissy will be what, 15, I think. Yeah, I think she'll be 15 then. So we'll be looking to, you know, I want to be able to buy her first car and all that good stuff, and just be in a really bomb place by 35. That's what I'm putting in the atmosphere. I am 26, gonna be 27 this year, so you know, like, life's not waiting on nobody. It's taken a while. It's been quite a journey, but I'm so thankful for it. I've learned so much, like, through working all these many jobs. I think the only jobs I never really ever had was any type of, like, I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say like janitorial work, but housekeeping is janitorial. That shit was like a hot mess. But I never worked fast food. That's the only thing I never did. And drive like trucks or nothing like that. But you know, I feel like I've done it all. I got a good little mix of like experience. I feel like I could apply for, I left out quite a bit of jobs, because now that I'm thinking about it, I worked front desk at a hotel when I was in Florida. And I also worked at another hotel, like in the laundry department, like doing laundry for this big ass hotel. That was pretty cool too. Yeah, so there's a couple stuff I'm probably forgetting in the mix, but overall I feel like I have a good bit of experience over the years job wise, and I know what I like, and that happens to be serving. So I'm gonna stick with it until I can do something for myself. Thank you guys for watching. If you watch all 4 parts, you're a real one, I swear. Love you lots. Love you long time. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and look out for more videos. As always, drop in the comments if there's anything specific you want me to talk about or share or whatever. If there's a topic you want me to discuss, like my opinions on it, go ahead and let me know. I'll be more than happy to do so. As you can tell, I love to talk, honey. So yeah, just all you need to do is give me a reason. But yes, until next time, bye.